Hi, it's Pastor Craig, and I'm coming to you for our Good Friday service, the 5th day of our road to the cross. And there are two things I want to look at. First is the 7 sayings of the Lord, and then some things that I want to share with you about Friday. And the first is the first saying is the word of forgiveness, and that is found in Luke chapter 2, verse 34, and it says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." And this is where you and I must remind ourselves sometimes when people hurt us that they don't know what they're doing. Sometimes we just have to forgive and realize that we have to offer that word of forgiveness. The word of salvation, Luke 23:43, "I assure you today, you will be with me in paradise." And that's the great commission that you and I have, that we would give the gospel of Jesus Christ to all that would hear and receive so that they could have the gift of salvation. What an honor to do so. The word of affection is, "Dear woman, here is your son," and that's found in John 19:26. And that's where you and I must give that same word of affection to others. Sometimes somebody needs just that word that to encourage them in their situation in their life. We find the word of anguish, and that is in Matthew 27:46, and it reads, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani," and it means, my God, why have you abandoned me?" And I think what the lesson that I learned from this is that whenever we feel like we have to say something of anguish, it should be directed to the Lord. It should never be directed to somebody else who can't help you. It should be directed to the Lord, who is the one that understands where you're at and what he can do for your life. The word of suffering shows us humanity, which he says, "I am thirsty," in John 19:28. And you and I are human, just like any other person that walks this earth. It doesn't make us any different when it comes to the things we suffer in our life. Our humanity comes through sometimes in the things that we suffer in this world. The word of victory is found in John 19:30, and that it is finished. And that is the thing that we must remember in this life. This victory is not found here. We do not find victory in this world. We will have victories, but the final victory is what Paul describes. He says, "I have finished the race," right? That's where you and I will receive our eternal reward. That is the victory that we're really looking for within our life. The word of contentment, and that is found in Luke 23:46, and it reads, "Father, I entrust my spirit into your hands." And I think this is the greatest example for you and I to understand that in our life, we have to learn to entrust God with everything. And we have to be content that he knows what he's doing, what's best for our life. And that's a struggle sometimes, but the contentment of knowing that the Lord knows what he is doing, and we entrust all that we are into him. And so Good Friday reminds me of two things. One is Friday leads us to Resurrection Sunday. What a great opportunity for us to remember that the crucifixion of Jesus Christ leads us to his resurrection. And that's the same thing for you and I. We have to embrace resurrection, but we also have to endure the fact of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It brought us to our salvation for our life. And then Friday means the beginning of change of a lot of things for the better. Some of us are going to have to change the way we think and we act and we respond. But change is what is needed, and Friday is that day of change. You and I must remember that Good Friday brings us to those avenues where we turn from the foolishness of the things of this world, where we hold on to those things and we think those are the things that bring change to our life. The jobs that we have, or the money that we obtain, or the houses or the cars that we drive, we enjoy those things, but those don't bring the lasting change that you and I need and can only find in Jesus Christ. Good Friday brings the change that ultimately leads us to the hope of Resurrection Sunday. Hey, I want to encourage you where you're at today, and I want to pray over you and bless you as well. Bow your heads with me. Father, I thank you for this Good Friday small snippet of a service, God. But it reminds us of the things that you said, and also what Friday really means, God. How good it is for our life. And I pray, Father, that we would embrace these things and challenge them in our own hearts, Lord, individually. I pray over your children for a blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you. May the Lord turn his face towards you, and may he give you peace throughout this week. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow one more time for one last daily devotional, and then join us for Resurrection Sunday. God bless you.